I picked her up and we are working on confidence training. So we are doing leash pressure training, and I just have her flat collar on her, and she does have a vibration e-collar because we will be working on that. She's just gonna wear it now. All right, wait. Good girl. Good wait. I like your autopilot sit. Nice job, Lentil. Come on. The leash is not a restricted tool. It's not because I don't want her to explore. It's so that I can guide her and show her specifically and directly what I want. Good girl. I'm just watching her body language. I'm not really focusing too much on obedience. I want her to become leash aware too. Like, you can't go around that pole because we're connected. Good girl. This way. Good girl. Come. So if she checks out, I can either pop her or I can tap it. Annoying her, I just did the tapping. Depends on how distracted they are, how loaded they are. Wait. Good job. Good wait. Good girl. Let's go. So what we're doing here is you move when I move, you stop when I stop. That's all I care about. Come on. And don't pull on the leash. That means not paying attention to me. So even though we want her to be off leash in the woods, we're in town on a leash. She's definitely sneaking around a lot on the ground. Imagine what she would be like in the woods. She can really get her nose down and just get distracted. And she'll get so fixated on her like scenting that she can't hear you calling her. This is Lentil. Good girl. She has an e-collar, tone, and vibration. That thing's right there. It's like a big old tractor. I'm teaching her this communication tool. Lentil does not understand the e-collar. And what I want her to do is go, oh, when this turns on, you come to me, good girl. So she already knows the cue. She already knows when I say, Lentil, come. Yes, good girl. Lentil, touch. Good girl. So she already knows cues. What I'm going to do now is pair this to it so that she knows this comes from me and so that she knows what to do when this turns on. This is pressure, just like a leash. So when she's out and I give her a little bit of pressure on the leash, she'll come with me. I want that to translate to when you're out, off leash, when you feel a little bit of pressure, you come with me. Good girl. At first, I'm not going to say anything to her. She doesn't really know. So I'm just going to use my body to communicate to her by moving like this. Like that. Maybe making like a kissy sound at her. And I'm going to start introducing the e-collar. And I'm just going to do repetition. So when I put my arm up in the air, I'm going tap, 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 tap. Come here. Yes, good girl. Good girl. And it's really sloppy at first, doesn't really matter. Good girl. It's kind of like a phone. Neat, neat, neat. Hello. That's really what I want her to do, is to say hello to me when I... Yes, good girl. Yes, good girl. Yes, good girl. What a good girl. Lentil also knows the word yes already. Her owner taught her. So I can mark when she succeeds. So Yes, what a good girl. Good girl. And you can give your dog a break because she just did 3 successful repetitions. I'm not gonna sit here and do this for 20 minutes. So now we're gonna go ahead and walk and get more in the environment because she just performed what I'm looking for 3 times. Now it's time to go and a little bit more distracting and see how she performs. And all I'm looking for is for her to go, oh, that's what I want to prime her brain that this means, oh, and then we'll put a whole finishing move and make it a whole thing. But right now, I'm looking for her to be like, oh, you're calling me? And then we'll train a cue for it. Yes, what a good girl. Very good dog. I'm gonna like tap and guide her. Good girl. What a good girl. Yes, good girl. Good girl. Yes, good girl. Good girl. Yes, yes. What a good girl. A lot of people make the mistake with e-collars, putting it on and then just letting their dog off leash and like hoping they know what to do. Come find me. Good girl. Yes. What a good girl. Good girl. Nice. Good job. Really good job. And like really telling her like, that's what I want. Stay close, come check in when you feel this. Yes, what a good girl. Good job. She was thinking, she was like, it's going off. But instead of me pulling her to me, this time I just stood there and waited. Do you know what I'm asking? And she says, I think so. Do you want me to come to you? Yes. Yes, good girl. Good girl. And so right there, I said yes before she was coming to me, but she looked at me. Good girl. Yes. Nice job. So we're shaping. Shaping the desired behavior. Like, it's not going to be perfect. Some dogs barking. Alright, I'm going to give her a break. When you're training your dog, yeah, you don't just want to drill them. They get a lot of breaks in between, especially when they've done something good. So the reward for a lot of dogs is just running around and sniffing. So to get your dog back into structure, Lentil, come. Good girl. Lentil, come. Good girl. This way. Yes. I'm going to mark her looking up. Oh, good girl. Good job. Lentil, come. Good girl. Really good with the verbal markers. I really want her to know this so she can be off leash and be out of voice range when it's really windy and still know exactly what to do. Lentil, come. So now I'm applying both. Good girl. Good girl. What a good girl. So, a man was just jogging by, and that was enough for her to not know anymore. I feel like she did really good with the first repetitions, and now she's not doing as well. So that could mean that she's checking out, that she shook. So I'm not going to push her too hard because I want training to be fun. So now I'm going to take her for a little bit more of a walk and make sure that we're still using leash pressure and the cues and the commands and just still doing patterns, but just a little bit easier and more of stuff she already knows.
Oh my gosh, that's all the way. Ah.
So this also is just a form of socializing. This environment is different and weird, and some dogs are like, nope, I can't do this. I'm not going to walk in that. Shut down. Good job. It's super sloppy out, so it is kind of hard to be in a heel, so not having a high expectation. Just some snow fell. What's that? That's okay. She was not properly socialized as a puppy, so there's a lot of new things happening. This is probably her first snow, who knows? So I'm just being like mindful of her situation and letting her also explore and sniff things. Good girl. I don't think that her obedience needs to be perfect while she's still figuring out these like emotional triggers. You should be mindful about that and make sure you don't put them in so like in a situation where they can get so overstimulated. Lentil. Good girl. This is training. I'm standing here having a conversation with you, and she just needs to kind of stay in the area and check it out and not pull me to go investigate something that's having impulse control. I don't know. See, there she goes again. Come here. That means she doesn't understand that she's connected to this. Come here. I need her to know she's connected to me. This is our most basic communication line. This is how I'm going to send her all the information, just through this piece of rope. Good girl. This is good for her. Just hang around here. It's kind of like, her owner goes camping. Hang around the campfire. Don't just check out and take off. Pay attention to where I'm at. Pay attention to what I'm doing. You can do what you want and sniff around, but don't just be like, whoa, see ya. Good girl. Dogs who don't get socialized a lot tend to be really impulsive. She's got to learn impulse control skills. Lentil, come. Good girl. What a good girl. Very good. All right, we're gonna do another pattern of this while we're back over here. It's a lot quieter now. Yes, good girl. Good girl. Good girl. So I'm doing a lot of pairing that she's obviously going to come to me. Good girl. Checking out. Lentil, come. Yes. Come here. Good girl. Break. You don't want your dog to check out from you until you give them break. That's the whole cue. But like I said, the environment's really distracting right now. It's super mucky. I'm a little distracted by the environment myself. I want to grab Lentil, who we worked last week with e-collar training. I'm going to be at the door, all of her equipment on. I'm going to open the door. I'm going to wait for her to either sit and wait calmly, or if she blasts out, I'm just going to close the door. And what that does is build impulse control. And she starts to learn that if I'm calm, then I get what I want. I really want to reinforce calm behavior in her. She's very like, whoa, wah! She gets really overwhelmed easy. She gets overstimulated really easy. So when she's working, she needs a calm environment. I'll grab Lentil and start the e-collar training. And what I'm looking for is not only when I page her and her to go, me? I want her to come and do a touch. Her owner has already taught her the touch command, so I want her to finish her recall. When she feels that collar, she comes, touches, waits for the break cue. Lentil already knows come, she already knows break, she already knows touch, all verbally. She just has a hard time when there's a lot of dogs around or there's something distracting. So we're building on distraction training, being outside and being able to perform these cues that she knows inside of her house.